What is going on, everybody? This is TAETRO and welcome back to the Lo-Fi Loft. I've had some requests recently to do a tour of the Lo-Fi Loft, so that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to take you through the three main spaces I have set up in this one bedroom, essentially, is what this room was supposed to be, and tell you a little bit about some of the tech that I have, some of the fun stuff that I have, all that good stuff. So if you want to see my creative space, well, let's do it. Okay, so we'll start with probably the most important part. This, as you can probably tell, is the main desk. This is where I shoot most of my videos. This is where I sit and work on most of my music. It's where I do all the live streams. The desk itself is by Autonomous. It's a sit-stand desk. I would say I don't use the standing that often, but it is good to have that option if I just don't feel like sitting in my chair for as long. I keep my Shure SM7B right here. I will use this for most types of recording. I can plug it right into my audio interface. It's also my main mic for streaming. Sounds really good. It's good at rejecting other sounds around that are not my voice. My main computer is a MacBook Pro. It's an M1. It's fine. I expect better performance out of a newer computer sometimes, but it's fine. And you'll see right below my MacBook, I actually have my iPad here. This functions as a second screen using AirPlay. So I rarely use it in like this case with Ableton Live, but I do use it during stream. I can put chat in the bottom window, or I can put other things that I'm not showing on screen in the bottom window so I can watch. Or maybe sometimes I'm writing something and watching a video at the same time. But it's a convenient second monitor that can just easily be removed. Always keep a MIDI keyboard of choice on the desk. A Kai MPK Mini is here, as well as a few other little fun pieces of gear like the Lemon Drop and the Orba. My main audio interface, which is kind of hidden over here, is a Scarlett interface. It's got two inputs on the front, but it's got more on the back. More importantly, it's got two headphones out on the front, which is really good if you're either working with somebody or if you're like me and you stream a lot, because I can use one of these headphones out to send the sound of my computer out specifically to the stream, and I'll talk about the stream setup in a moment. Recently, I went ahead and put my Tascam MFP01 Porta Studio tape recorder here just so that it's readily available to me and I can sample more to tape if I ever feel like it. It's as easy as just throwing in the 1/4-inch cable into the input, and then I'll connect the phones out to one of the back inputs of my Scarlett interface. So it's just a really easy way to quickly sample to tape. The speakers here are by JBL. If I'm being honest, they're just okay. There's a little bit of convenience here because they have Bluetooth, aux in, etc. I bought these when I had a very just straight up white, all white setup. So I mostly got them for the aesthetic, and I don't love how they sound in this particular situation, but for now, they work fine. Since I am shooting a lot of videos, lighting is important here. So this light that you see here is an Elgato Key Light Air. What's convenient about it is that I can control it via the computer, so I can turn up and down the brightness right from my mouse. Usually I only have it on if I'm making a video, otherwise it's just off, but it does make a big difference in the videos. The lights behind me that you see, the T is by Lifix, Lifx, and what's really cool is I can control it with my phone and change the colors, change the brightness, etc. But it's also serving a purpose because it lights the side of my face when I'm sitting at the desk making content. So you probably see a bunch of other things behind me, like for instance, this is a streaming mixer by Roland, the Roland VR1 HD. That is how I run my streams. All the cameras as well as my HDMI out from my computer go to this. The audio from my computer goes to this. That goes to this black box down here, which is not just a black box, but instead it's my PC. My PC, which I promise looks really cool, but just because of the position of where it is, you can't see. I also know nothing about PCs. My friends helped me build this one, so please don't ask me about the specs, but it's good enough to just straight up run my live streams. That's all I run it for. This wireless keyboard is what I keep so I can just click around and actually use this computer, but where's the monitor? This tiny screen right here, that is my computer monitor. You can even see that OBS is open and my overhead camera is on. That is literally a tiny PC monitor. It's tiny because I don't really need to do that much with it other than click start streaming or copy and paste my stream key into OBS. I alluded to this earlier, but you can see the overhead camera right here, so I can shoot whatever's on my desk very easily. This whole setup is built around me being able to just sit and make a video or do a stream whenever I want. Now I'm filming right now, so my main camera is, you're looking at me through it. You can see a tripod right there above my computer. That's where my camera usually goes. Since I just showed you like all the streaming gear, like the cameras and the streaming mixer and the PC, let me just talk real quick about how that all works. Okay, so here's what I see when I'm streaming, and let me just show you how this all operates. So since all the camera and visuals are running to the Roland VR1 HD, I can switch between those different visuals and I can watch OBS, which is my streaming program, right on that little PC monitor. So as I hit different buttons on the streaming mixer, I can change between different shots. I'll switch to just screen capture here. And then there's different combinations of different shots, like me and the screen capture, or my keyboard and the screen capture. And then it's just like all different configurations of those different setups, some of which I never use. But that's all done by switching right here. So when you see me reach over during my streams, that's what I'm doing. These are the buttons that I'm hitting. If you hear me trigger a round of applause, or if I put crazy voice effects on, that's where these buttons come in as well. Audio mixing is right here. Obviously this is my main microphone. Line is the audio coming from my audio interface from one of the headphone outs. So I can basically control exactly how much volume I'm giving the stream. So I can control the volume there, as well as here. And then that's my mic volume, which I can control as well. From there, I'm just sitting doing my stream, trying to make music and push all the right buttons at the same time. And the Stream Deck has one more use case, which is if I'm not yet streaming, like right now, you would see me when we're live, but when I want to do my starting soon screen or my thanks for watching screen, or when we're doing a track review and I have that graphic on there, see that switching, that's all done right here on the Stream Deck. So I got my starting soon screen, VR1 HD, that's just my normal streaming screen. Review puts the graphic on the screen. So that's just one more switcher that helps me change what exactly happens as we're streaming. Hope that makes sense. So that's pretty much how the streaming setup works. The last thing in this little corner I'll talk about are these cool shelves back here with different MIDI controllers and books and little figures and my tape players. Those are from IKEA. Those are really cool shelves because they are sort of like modular. You can buy different hooks or different canisters, different book holders to fit onto these. So you can kind of build them however you want them. I really like them. They're from IKEA. And why is this all greenery here? Well, because if you have been watching this channel for a while, when I first moved here, I was shooting against that wall because I thought I could make a cool set out of it. But it turns out if you just show this corner, the rest of the lo-fi loft, it's a lot cooler. So let's talk about the rest of the lo-fi loft. All right, so in this corner, I have my secondary desk, which is really cool because it sort of like folds or turns, I guess you could say. So I can sit at different angles. So since it's such a well-lit space, I can sit there and paint really easily because I've got the daylight coming in usually. I've also got my Yamaha Reface CP over here, which is running through my SP404 Mark II, as well as my KRK RP5 monitors. These just fit better over here than they do on my regular desk. So I keep them over here. I can check mixes on them whenever I want. And I can also just have this second laptop-less setup, which is really cool because let me show you the convenience of having that keyboard running through the 404. Yeah, so all I have to do here is walk over to the Yamaha Reface CP and say I'm just sitting here, noodling around, playing some notes. If it's running through the 404, if I play something that I really like, I can just walk over to the 404, hit the mark button, which is skip back. And it's like constantly recording like the past 40 seconds. So I can scan through everything that I just played. And with one button, it's been recorded. So yeah, that's a really convenient setup. All I have to do is come over here and roll my actual desk chair over from the main desk to this secondary setup, and it just gives me, you know, a space away from all that extra tech and stuff for the most part. I keep these mood boards on the walls. You've probably seen them in a few different shots. I just like to keep different photos, different things that inspire me, maybe small little paintings that I've done. I like to keep that all on the walls, so like my inspiration is clear whenever I'm working on anything, any type of art, any type of music. It's good to be surrounded by inspiring things, inspiring images, things that you love, which is why all around this studio you probably see things like Funko Pops or figures, collectibles. I think it's cool that pretty much anywhere I sit in the studio, I'm surrounded by things that I think are really cool. It makes this more of an exciting place to come to and work, but not feel like work. By the way, at this setup, if I ever do want to hook up my laptop, for convenience, I keep the Arturia Minifuse 2 here. So if I want to come over here and record away from my main desk, I've always got that hooked up, and I can easily hook it up to the KR case if I want. It's just as simple as coming over here and plugging it in. All right, so speaking of fun things and a fun time, let's go over to the little lounge corner over here. I'm gonna try not to disturb the cat. This room is a really weird shape, so it's got this little alcove, but I think that's really cool because I can turn this into like a little reading corner. I've got a bunch of my books on the shelf over here, more figures. I've even got a light up there in case I'm reading and it's dark. And this is, again, same room, but another space away. There's basically 3 main spaces in this one room. So I can hang back here and just lounge with the cat if I want, if the cat allows. And then the other cool thing about this spot is if I want to chill and lounge and watch something, the cat does not like this anymore. I've got the projector mounted to the wall, and I've left that adjacent wall totally blank. I hook up a little speaker to the projector, turn the projector on. I've got Chromecast, so I can easily cast anything from my phone to this projector, close the curtains, get it dark, and I'm watching whatever I want on the projector. So like I said, a little bit of lounge section over here. Plants, I think, are important. It's the same vibe as, you know, all the different figures and collectors items. Plants help the room feel alive and less machine-like. So I think that that's cool. I've got my Kylo Ren helmet and Stormtrooper helmet over here, and we'll pan back this way a bit to just show the guitars and some more art. This is a Dean. I just really love the design of this guitar. Very cheap bass from eBay and jam stick. And then I also keep the Launch Key 37 on standby in case I ever need a slightly bigger keyboard than a mini 25 key keyboard. Something that's really important that's hanging over the door frame. This is from the Music and Youth Initiative. If y'all don't know about Beattober, it's an annual challenge that happens every October where we raise money for the really amazing nonprofit Music and Youth Initiative. Basically, I challenge the community to make a beat every single day in the month of October. And we raised $6,000 for them last year through our community challenges and things like that. So stay tuned for more. That's really cool. They sent that after Beattober last year. And you do have to be careful in this studio because it's been a bit of an infestation. And if you've seen any of these little crochet figures around the studio, my mom makes all these. All right, so I really love this little home studio. For me, it's a great creative space. I'm surrounded by things that I love. It's got good light. It's got character with the bricks and everything. So it's a nice little space. And I'm fortunate enough to just have like an extra bedroom in my apartment to make a studio like this. And I would love to hear what you think about this space and maybe tell me a little bit about your creative space at your home. Of course, one of the reasons I'm able to keep up with making these videos like the Ableton Live for Beginner series or the Music Theory series that a lot of you have watched is through support for the channel through channel memberships. So if you want to hit the join button down below and become a channel member, we do members only workshops. You can get free sample packs and you can also get access to our Discord server, get my feedback on your music. All that good stuff is available to you at the different membership tiers. So hit the join button and see what's going on over there. It's a really fun community. We're on our way to 350 members. I hope you did enjoy this tour of the Lo-Fi Loft. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one.